Hey guys, fear not. This is day 18. Today we're going to be in Matthew 17, verse 7. If you want the bigger thought about this, please hit the link below and go to YouTube, see me in color, and learn a little bit more about it. So, Matthew 17, verse 7. Jesus came to them and touched them and said, "Get up and do not be afraid." So it's an interesting context that this was said in. We'll go into it a little bit if you want to hit that link. Spend a couple more minutes with me in full color and talk about the context of this and some things we can learn from it. Okay, so here we are at the Transfiguration, Matthew 17. I'm just going to read it, and I'm going to go through a couple thoughts that we could take away to learn to help with the fear not. So, Matthew 17, verse 1. 6 days later, Jesus took with him Peter and James and his brother John, and he led them up on a high mountain by themselves. Verse 2, and he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his garments became as white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, talking with him. Peter responded and said to Jesus, "Lord, it is good that we are here. If you want, I will make 3 tabernacles. Tabernacles are like tents. Here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and behold, a voice from the cloud said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the disciples heard this, they fell on their face down to the ground and were terrified. And Jesus came to them and touched them and said, "Get up and do not be afraid." And raising their eyes, they saw no one except Jesus himself alone. When they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus commanded them, saying, "Tell the vision to no one until the Son of Man has risen from the dead." So, a couple things here. First of all, Jesus says in verse 9 that this is a vision. This is a glimpse of the kingdom to come. We have God encouraging his Son, Jesus, and edifying him or building him up even further in the eyes of his apostles. So that was Peter, James, and John. And it says that he led them to the mountain by themselves. So there was no one else up there. But in this vision, they saw Moses representing the law and Elijah representing the prophets. And then God then showed them that all they needed to see was Jesus. And when they realized that, when God asked them to just listen to Jesus and block everything else out, that's when they were told not to be afraid. And they kept it in their hearts. And they didn't bring it up again until they were commanded after Jesus was risen from the dead. And then they witnessed what they saw, but they were strengthened by this on purpose. The secret that God gave them was Jesus. And with their focus only on Jesus and listening to only Jesus, they had no fear. They were not afraid. Once they realized that, they're not afraid. So that's our thoughts tonight about Matthew 17, verse 7, and I'll read just that part again. And Jesus came to them, touched them, and said, "Get up and do not be afraid."